Hi everyone! This video is going to walk you through how to work on your daily reading comprehension assignments. These are really important because it's going to help you practice your reading stamina, which is a skill that you're going to need in grade 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and for the rest of your life. So it's a great time to practice. And I'm going to walk you through how I suggest that you tackle these assignments. What a lot of people think is that you read something once and you're done, but I'm going to model for you how I want you to really be looking through the text to find evidence to support why you've selected the answer that you have. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to read the text. So one chilly winter day, Alicia started down the street. She was on her way to the school bus stop. The wind was whipping and its icy push hurried Alicia along. Then Alicia noticed something on the sidewalk. She leaned over and looked more closely. It was money. A $50 bill. Alicia couldn't believe her eyes at first, but there was no doubt about it. She had found a lot of money. She glanced around. Maybe somebody dropped the money. Nobody was nearby. Alicia wasn't sure what to do about the money, and the bus was on its way. So she tucked the money into her backpack. Then she rushed to catch the bus. She would decide what to do after school. All right, so now that I've read it through, I can start with question 1. So it says, why is Alicia in a hurry? So I need to go back through the text again, because rereading is a great reading comprehension strategy, and I need to find where it talks about Alicia being in a hurry. So once I've gone through the text, I want to make sure that I underline it. So I found it here. Hurried Alicia along. Now when I found it in the text, I want to read the sentence before and after. Sometimes you have to read a little more, but a general rule is reading the sentence before and after. So it says, she was on her way to the school bus stop. The wind was whipping and its icy push hurried Alicia along. Then Alicia noticed something on the sidewalk. All right, so let's look at the potential answers. So why is Alicia in a hurry? A says she finds $50. Well, that isn't why she's in a hurry, so I'm going to cross that one out. I know that that's not going to be an answer. B says she wants to ride her bike. Well, it did not mention anything about a bike, so I know that one isn't it. She has missed the bus. It also didn't say that she missed her bus. She actually caught the bus, we found out later in the text, so I'm going to cross that one out as well. D, it is cold and windy. Well, it says the wind was whipping and its icy push hurried Alicia along. So I know that D is correct because I found the evidence in the text to support that. Number 2 says, what does Alicia do when she finds the money? Okay, so I need to go back through and find where it says she found the money and what she did about it. So I found it here, so I'm going to underline, Alicia wasn't sure what to do. So then I'm going to read the sentence before and the sentence after. Nobody was nearby. Alicia wasn't sure what to do about the money, and the bus was on its way. So she tucked the money into her backpack. Okay, so now I've read the sentence before and the sentence after. So I'm going to look at the potential options. So what does Alicia do when she finds the money? A, she decides to keep it. Well, she did keep it, so let's keep that answer open just in case. Let's look at the others though. B, she plans to decide what to do with it later. Well, it did say that near the end of this text. So let's keep going. C, she gives the money to the bus driver. Well, it never said anything about her giving the money to her bus driver, so I can cross that out. D, she gives the money to her best friend. I don't even remember reading about her best friend, so I'm going to cross that one out. So now I'm going to go back because it looks like I'm between A and B. So A says she decides to keep it, and B says she plans to decide what to do with it later. So going back to where I found what Alicia decides to do. So Alicia wasn't sure what to do about the money, and the bus was on its way. So she tucks the money into her backpack. So that's the sentence after, but if I remember from the first time I read through this, I think she wanted to do something with it later, but I want to keep reading so I can find the evidence in the text to support my answer. Then she rushed to catch the bus. She would decide what to do after school. She would decide what to do after school. So that means that she plans to decide what to do with it later. So B is the correct answer. Looking at number 3, which word in the text is not a compound word? So in order to answer this question, I need to know what a compound word is. A compound word is when there are two standalone words that can be put together to make a new word. So let's go through this. Backpack. Well, that one is a compound word. Sidewalk. That one's also a compound word. Something is a compound word. Whipping. So whipping is not a compound word. Now, since this question said, which word is not? I'm going to go with the one that I've put an X beside, because I know that that one is not a compound word. Whip is a word on its own, but then ing is not a word on its own. Now I'm going to go to question 4. What is the definition of glanced? You'll notice glanced is in italics. That word is located somewhere in the text. So just like I did for question 1 and 2, I'm going to go back through my text and I'm going to find where it says the word glanced. I found the word glanced here, so I'm going to underline it. Then I'm going to read the sentence before and the sentence after. Alicia couldn't believe her eyes at first, but there was no doubt about it. She had found a lot of money. She glanced around. Maybe somebody dropped the money. Okay, so what is the definition of glanced? A, blinked? No. Stared at someone? No, because I know the next sentence is nobody was nearby, so she wasn't staring at anyone. Looked around quickly. Yes, that one makes sense when I read back through the text, but let's make sure that that's our answer by looking at D. Heard something. No, it did not talk about her hearing anything, so I can cross that one out. And I know that it means that she looked around quickly. And I find that evidence when I look back through the text and says she glanced around. Maybe somebody dropped the money. Nobody was nearby. All right, so let's go on to question 5. The wind was whipping is an example of what kind of language usage? So, wind was whipping. So I want to go back through and find that in my text. It's in italics. Found it here. So wind was whipping. A type of language use. So A is alliteration. Well, I know that alliteration is when words start with the same sound. There's more than 2 words. So wind was whipping. Wind was whipping. That follows the rules, the definition for alliteration. So it could be alliteration. Now let's look at the rest of them just to make sure. A simile. Well, I know that a simile is when you compare 2 things using words like or as. Wind was whipping does not have any like or as word in there, so I know it's not that. C is rhyme. Wind was whipping. None of those words rhyme, so I can cross those out. and a poem. Well, I know that this is not a poem. It's only 3 words. So, going back, I know that it's alliteration because I've gone through and I've crossed out the other options because they are not correct. Now, I'm going to stop there, but I just wanted to show you how reading once through a text is not good enough normally. You want to make sure that you are going back through, finding the evidence to support your answers, and you really can write all over your pages. So, best of luck with that. If you have any more questions, please make sure you reach out and ask your teachers, but you've got this, kids, and keep it up.